Hi, everyone. Welcome to this Truth Talk series. This is Wellness Coach Melinda here, and I am coming to you today to discuss something that's pretty important to me, really big and dear on my heart, which is depression and anxiety. A lot of people battle that, and so my question is, did you know that anxiety disorders are the most common mental illness in the US? 40 million adults, 18 and over. Statistics show that anxiety disorders develop from genetics, one, brain chemistry, personality, and life events. And 322 million people worldwide live with depression. You might be sitting here thinking to yourself, yeah, you know what? I know someone who battles anxiety, or I know someone who battles depression. When you really think about the statistic and you're thinking about there is 7.5 billion people in the world and 322 million people in the world have and live with depression, that's a high number. So how to really make sense of emotions that we are experiencing, whether it's you who's battling this chronic illness or you are a loved one of someone who battles this. And so I'm going to explain a little bit about the differences between the two. So to help you understand a little bit more. And why am I sharing this information with you? Well, because I'm going to let you know that I am a mother of two daughters that battled depression and anxiety. And I was a wife to my ex-husband who had bipolar disorder. So I am someone who was a loved one who helped people with this illness and continually help them in the condition. Depression and anxiety disorders are different, but people with depression often experience symptoms really similar to those of an anxiety disorder. Such as nervousness, irritability, problems with sleeping, or even concentrating. But each disorder has its own causes and its emotional and behavioral symptoms. So it can be kind of overwhelming, especially if you're experiencing both. Many people who develop depression have a history of an anxiety disorder sometime earlier in their life. Thing is there's so many different types of anxiety disorders, it's hard to really know when it shows up. There is no evidence of one disorder that causes the other, but there is clear evidence that many people suffer from both disorders, which is huge. That's a lot on a person that has this illness. And here are some symptoms of depression. Lack of interest in enjoyable activities, increase or decrease in your appetite, insomnia or hypersomnia, slowing of movement, lack of energy, feelings of guilt or worthlessness, trouble concentrating, and suicidal thoughts or behaviors. Symptoms of an anxiety disorder. Here are a few, which is excess worry, restlessness, being easily fatigued, trouble concentrating, irritability, sleep disturbance, muscle tension, and warning signs that you really shouldn't ignore. If you're a parent or you're a wife or a spouse of a loved one or a family member, loved ones that struggle with anxiety and depression, these are some signs that I want you to be out on the lookout for. If you see this happening in someone that you care for, which is poor daily self-care. which means they're refusing to perform personal hygiene habits. Maybe they're not showering. Maybe they're not getting dressed or caring for themselves. They don't want to get out of bed. They may show signs of not eating. Sudden and extreme changes in mood. And this will be very apparent. One moment, extremely happy, giddy. The next moment, depressed and sad. Don't want to participate in activities. You can go from anger very quickly to sadness very quickly. Many, many extreme in the mood disorder change. They may become violent, maybe very threatening or aggressive. You might notice they're abusing substances. Maybe they're drinking a lot. Maybe they're using drugs. But they have a tendency to abuse substances. Appearing confused and having hallucinations around things. And of course, talking about suicide or about not having a reason to live. And that's huge. When you have a child that tells you that they want to end their life and they have a plan to kill themselves, that is the most disturbing news you can hear as a parent. And it should be taken very seriously. That's a sign for help. And somehow, in some manner, they're needing help. And so here are some coping strategies I really want to share with you, because these are some of the things that I used as a mom and a wife to implement for myself because it was very difficult to be in that environment with individuals who having all these extreme changes, whether that's in their mood or their behavior. It impacts the whole family and everyone around them. And so here are just some coping strategies for the person that actually is going through it with them, or you're someone who is going through this. When you're feeling anxious or stressed, it's really good to take a time out. And some ways you can do that could be through meditation, just taking 5 minutes to be still, let your thoughts go, slow down your breathing. Maybe it's practicing yoga, taking time to add slow movements for yourself. Listening to music is huge. I have a lot of clients that listen to music. Learning some new relaxation techniques is really important. But just stepping back from problems really help you to clear your head. Eating well-balanced meals. It's really important that if you're someone who battles depression and anxiety, that you're not skipping meals. You need to keep your body as healthy as possible, as hydrated as possible, and always have energy-boosting snacks available for yourself. And important to limit your alcohol and caffeine consumption. It can aggravate anxiety and trigger panic attacks by speeding up the heart. Really important to get enough sleep. When stressed, your body needs additional sleep and rest, especially because the body is in the stress response, fight or flight, all the time. So the body is working even harder and needs more rest. Exercise daily. This is like one of my top go-tos is exercise. As my daughter was going through depression and was having suicidal thoughts, I developed anxiety because I couldn't control what was happening to her. It grieved me. It made me extremely upset. And I just hurt. I hurt for her. And I became anxious. And I learned that running really helped me to calm my nerves and helped me to meditate in a way, release all the thoughts, increase the dopamine and all those good feelings. And I was able to really just let go. And so exercise is huge. Get those endorphins going, those good feelings. Connecting to nature feels amazing, makes you feel alive. There's all kinds of fitness tips that you can look up you're not into hiking or going outside or running like myself. There's many things you can do that you can find that you would enjoy. Take deep breaths. Inhale and exhale slowly. Learning how to breathe and slow down your breath is critical when you're having anxiety. Just learning how to step back and take those breaths. Sometimes it's counting to 10 slowly. You may need to count to 20 slowly. It just really depends on how you're feeling in the moment. Just know that you're doing your best. So instead of aiming for perfection, which isn't possible, be proud of however close you get. And this was a big one for me. Accept that you cannot control everything that's happening. So put your stress in perspective. Is it really as bad as you think? Is this really out of your control? If it is out of your control, then it's okay. It's out of control. And is the situation as bad as it really, as our thoughts are triggering that, right? So it's really having a new perspective. And laugh. Humor is the best medicine around. A good laugh goes a long way. Just taking time to be with someone that makes you laugh. If you don't have people in your corner that are humorous, then I definitely suggest watching some comedy on TV, but just laugh. Laughter heals the soul. Maintain a positive attitude. Make an effort to replace negative thoughts with positive ones. And of course that sounds so easy to do, but it is difficult. It is a habit that you have to put into practice. And how can you become more positive? What does that mean? Does that mean in the morning, maybe meditating and getting your mind right? Maybe by reading inspirational quotes for yourself, setting the positive intention for your day that you want, just keeping a positive attitude, saying affirmations, things that bring you joy and happiness and support your best intention. Getting involved. Volunteer, find another way to be active in your community, right? Getting out, being a part of something feels really good. Makes you feel important. And so I would say it gives you a break from the everyday stress by connecting with other people that are serving others. It's a good way to let some of that go. Learn what triggers your anxiety. Is it work? Is it family? Is it school? Or is it something else that you can really identify? You know, one thing I'm always referring my clients to is get a journal and write what you're feeling when you're stressed or you're anxious, or even if you're depressed. Kind of look at the patterns. What kind of made you feel that way? Did somebody walk in and say something to you? Sometimes it is our perception of what someone says to us we deem as negative. And how is that perception impacting our life? So really learning what the trigger is. Is it I'm at work and they're putting a lot on me and therefore I feel stressed? You know, just really learning what triggers that. And talk to someone. Tell friends and family you're feeling overwhelmed. Your friends and your family want to support you. They're the ones that love you the most and care for you the most. So you should feel comfortable going to them and sharing with them that you're feeling overwhelmed. And maybe you need to talk to a physician or a therapist or a coach like myself that's going to support you and hold you to your highest intentions for yourself that you have. But getting professional help sometimes is the best answer for everything that you're going through. And so ways to stay healthy and manage your stress is, you know, if you could implement 30 minutes 5 times a week to movement and activity, that's going to be so beneficial for you to stay healthy and maintain and manage your stress levels. Set small daily goals for yourself. You know, aim for consistency rather than perfect workouts when you're doing this. Get in a group where a group exercise. Some people like to join gyms where they can join the group fitness because you're making connections and you're being with people and it makes you feel healthy. It makes you feel good about what you're doing. You have a support system. And always distract yourself. Sometimes we need to get out of our own head with distraction just by listening to music while you're working out, whatever that is. And there's nothing better than recruiting a friend to be your workout buddy. That's always helpful and beneficial. And just be patient with yourself if you're trying to implement, movement 5 times a week for 30 minutes. Anytime we start to take on a new habit, it takes time. And so, be gentle with yourself, have compassion with yourself. And I just want you guys to know that mental health and awareness is key to my heart. This is an illness that has impacted my own family, as I've shared with you. And it impacts my family line. Genetically, yes, most definitely. All the way back to my great-grandparents. Through my cousins, to my mother, to my children, and then through a marriage. So yes, most definitely impacted my life, and it's something I'm very passionate about, helping people. And as a life coach and a wellness coach, I'm passionate about this, about helping others have freedom from this darkness, because it is a dark place and you feel alone and you feel like nobody understands what you're going through. And I'm just putting it out there so that if you're looking for some professional help. I offer a program designed to help you find balance in this world by providing you with cognitive and mood support through coaching strategies designed to help you release the past and rest assured of your future. And so if you found that these strategies that I shared with you were beneficial, please comment below. I would love to hear your thoughts on this, or if you have a strategy that works for you, please share it below. And thank you for joining me as we brought some more awareness around depression and anxiety and how an impact it is in this world and an epidemic. So thank you for joining. Until next time.